When Robert Downey Jr. walks into a luxury Ferrari dealership wearing simple clothes and a silver cross around his neck, no one gives him a second glance except to judge. The salesmen ignore him. The customers exchange smug looks. And the manager? He doesn't even bother hiding his contempt. But Robert isn't here to impress anyone. He's just here to buy a gift, a special one for a childhood friend. What happens next will leave the entire showroom speechless, and by the time Robert walks out that door, nothing will ever be the same. Robert Downey Jr. walked into a luxury Ferrari dealership in Beverly Hills one sunny afternoon. He was dressed casually in worn jeans, a plain black t-shirt, and weathered boots. His hair was slightly disheveled, and a silver crucifix hung around his neck, catching the light with every step. Despite his unassuming appearance, this was the famous actor known for his remarkable comeback story and generous spirit. As he entered the pristine showroom with its polished floors and soft ambient music, the atmosphere shifted subtly. The salespeople glanced at him briefly, but quickly turned away. Two sharply dressed salesmen whispered to each other, making dismissive comments about his appearance. Customers in designer clothes exchanged knowing looks, silently judging the simple man who had walked into their exclusive world. None of them recognized the celebrity in their midst. Robert wasn't there to draw attention to himself. He had come to purchase a Ferrari Roma Spider as a birthday gift for a childhood friend, someone who, like Robert, was a man of faith and had endured hardships with quiet dignity throughout his life. The sleek, elegant car seemed perfect, and Robert moved toward it with genuine appreciation for its craftsmanship. The dealership manager approached with a rehearsed smile that quickly turned condescending when he noticed Robert's simple clothes and religious pendant. "Faith is beautiful," the manager remarked with a smirk, "but it doesn't pay for a car like this." Robert remained calm and unshaken, asking softly, "Do you believe in anything, sir?" The manager laughed coldly and replied, "I believe in numbers, bank accounts, that sort of thing." As Robert continued examining the Roma Spider, a glamorous couple entered the showroom. Immediately, the atmosphere changed. Staff rushed to greet them with warm smiles and flutes of champagne. They were escorted to a private viewing area where another Ferrari waited under a velvet cover. The contrast in treatment couldn't have been more stark. When a young boy entered with his wealthy parents and pointed out that Robert looked like "that guy from the movies," his father scoffed, telling his son it was just another religious nut trying to get attention. Robert overheard this but responded only with a warm, genuine smile directed at the child. The boy smiled back until his father pulled him away. The manager eventually asked Robert to leave, claiming the showroom was reserved for real customers. Without protest or confrontation, Robert prepared to exit quietly. What the arrogant manager didn't realize was that this humble man with the silver cross was actually the guest of honor at that evening's Ferrari International Gala, being celebrated for his humanitarian work with orphans in Sudan and Ukraine. A young employee named Lucia, who brought espresso to clients and polished fingerprints off the glass doors, recognized Robert. Unlike her colleagues, she had noticed him from the moment he entered, not just because she'd seen his movies, but because of the quiet dignity he carried. After Robert left, she discovered online that he was to be honored at the Ferrari event that night and tried to alert the manager, but he dismissed her concerns. That evening, the Ferrari International Gala transformed Beverly Hills with spotlights, red carpets, and camera flashes. Celebrities, executives, and influencers gathered in their finest attire. The event came to a standstill when a sleek, customized Ferrari 812 competition pulled up and Robert stepped out, wearing a tailored black suit with his silver crucifix still visible around his neck. The dealership manager, who was attending as a regional store representative, froze in horror when he spotted Robert across the room. Lucia was there too, having been invited as Employee of the Month for exemplary conduct, though she knew the real reason was damage control. During his acceptance speech, Robert didn't directly mention the incident or shame anyone. Instead, he spoke thoughtfully. "Today, something curious happened. I was told my cross didn't belong near certain cars, that my faith didn't match the leather and horsepower. But I believe values, kindness, humility, compassion, they belong behind every steering wheel, every brand, every home, every heart." The crowd responded with thunderous applause, and many executives were visibly moved. After the speech, Robert approached Lucia and told her they had something in common. They both noticed things others missed. He offered her not just a job, but a mission. The next morning, news of the incident spread across social media. Videos of Robert's speech went viral, showing him speaking about dignity and compassion while his silver cross glinted under the lights. The fallout was swift. The store manager was fired, and Ferrari's CEO called an emergency board meeting to address the company's values. They created a new initiative focusing on anti-discrimination, humanized service, and ethical leadership. Lucia, encouraged by Robert's message, posted a video sharing her experience of working in an environment where people were judged by appearances. The video went viral, and she was later appointed Director of Ethics and Humanized Service for Ferrari Global. 2 weeks later, Robert delivered the Ferrari Roma Spider to the Agape Refuge Center, a Christian shelter for child refugees in downtown Los Angeles. The car would be auctioned to raise millions for expanding shelters for children displaced by war, poverty, and religious persecution. When the center's director expressed surprise at receiving such an expensive gift, Robert simply smiled and said, "A Ferrari should move hearts before it moves tires." Ferrari dealerships worldwide began implementing changes. Prayer rooms in São Paulo, new inclusive hiring policies in Berlin, and completely rewritten staff training in Tokyo. Lucia traveled internationally, speaking to executives and training store teams on how to truly listen to people regardless of their appearance. At a later press conference, Robert explained, "Faith is not a trend. It's not a filter. It's not what you wear around your neck. It's what you carry in your choices. And if your faith makes others uncomfortable, maybe it's not your faith that needs adjusting. Maybe it's the room." This story teaches us that real change doesn't require wealth or status. It comes from staying true to your values even when others dismiss you. As Robert showed, sometimes the quietest person in the room, the one with faith and humility, can create the most powerful ripples of change. Respect isn't something you purchase with money or status. It's something you demonstrate through your actions and how you treat others, especially those who can't offer you anything in return. You don't need a Ferrari to drive change. You just need to keep walking, even when doors close, especially when they do. Have you ever been judged for your faith, your appearance, or where you come from? Share this story with someone who needs to remember, respect isn't bought, it's lived.